There's a specific type of male physique that literally makes women's eyes light up whenever they see it. Now, just like most guys, before I built the attractive physique that I have now, I did not have much success with women. I had no women who were super interested in me. Whenever I'd approach women, it'd be tough and the results just weren't that great in general. Like I said, just like the average guy experiences. Now, not to say that life is all about women, it's not. You're focusing on yourself first, you're investing in yourself to make yourself higher value. But as a result of that, you get plenty of women that are interested in you, which is still important. As a man, it's important to have women that are attracted to you. Nowadays, the results come a lot easier. The results are a lot better because I've put in that work to build an attractive physique. I was at this popular sunbathing spot in Copenhagen, so people just sunbathing, reading, swimming, whatever, right? And I was walking around shirtless, of course, and there was this girl staring at me. There was a lot of girls staring at me, but this one was looking the best. So I went and approached her. We had a good conversation, good vibe. She was very attracted to me. I could tell just from the way she was looking at me in like the first 5 seconds, right? So we arranged to see each other later that night. We went on a little date. Well, I say date, she actually invited some of her friends. It was like more of a group setting, but regardless, I can work in that environment. It doesn't matter. So we went to get drinks at this bar. We went to another spot for some music. And at some point, right, I was getting kind of bored. I wanted to get the job done, right? So I just tell her, let's go back to your place. Usually I'd disguise it at least a little bit, like, have you got drinks at your place, or do you want to come watch a movie back at mine? But I don't know, this night I must have been feeling particularly direct, so I just said, yeah, let's go to your place. And we went to her place. Like, there was no resistance, there was no objections, anything like that, because she was very attracted to me because of my physique. So we went back to her place, and at some point she was like, you know, I'm usually celibate, right? She said, you know, I'm usually celibate. And we were partially undressed by this point, by the way. So I was like, what am I doing here? And she looks at my physique up and down, and she's like, because look at you. So if that doesn't speak to how powerful an attractive physique is, I don't know what to tell you. She literally disregarded her celibacy. She made a promise to herself to not get pounded, basically, and she got pounded. So that's the power that having a good physique does. It turns girls into something else. Like, that's literally how it is. When you have an attractive physique, most guys don't have that. Sorry, basically all guys don't have an attractive physique. Even the ones that go to the gym, they don't train specifically to look sexy, which is what I do. So they don't really get the experiences that having a particularly good looking physique get you. So I'm going to show you what you need to focus on to get this type of physique and why it's so attractive. Bear in mind, this is not only attractive now, currently today in the world, but this has been perceived as attractive for years, evolutionarily, right? So if you want more women in your life, if you want to be more attracted to women, which is what every guy in the world wants, then getting this type of physique is one of the highest impact things that you can actually do for yourself. When you've got an attractive physique, so that means that you're lean, and you've got a V-taper, you've got a nice shoulder to waist ratio with a decent amount of muscle mass, right? You're showing a lot of things. You're signaling that you're strong, physically capable, you can protect and provide, you've got good genetics, you are mentally resilient. All these things that have an attractive physique that most men don't have, you're signaling that to a woman straight away. That's something that a woman can see instantly, both consciously, subconsciously, it doesn't matter. Within the first second that a girl sees you, she can see all these things. You wouldn't even believe how powerful this is. Like, most guys are going about it completely the wrong way, trying to talk their way into getting more women. Just average guys trying to show personality, be funny, you know, speak to enough women, maybe one will like you, okay. But when you have an attractive physique, you've already elevated yourself above other people. You've already made yourself higher value, your higher status now just as a result. Women give you so much interest, it's unbelievable. For example, I'll stand, like with a friend, for example, I'll stand in a club and there'll be a group of women that come to me every 3 minutes, just dancing around me, trying to get my attention. It's honestly that simple. You don't put much effort in, which allows you more time to improve yourself more, to get a more attractive physique, which means more women are interested in you, better women are interested in you. It's honestly that easy when you start to build an attractive physique that women just love. Like, women are evolutionarily hardwired to like this physique, so it doesn't make sense to try and go against that. As I said, the V-taper is what's going to give you this masculine looking shape, this attractive physique. That's the most attractive physique on a man. So let's talk about the muscles that are going to give you that shape. First of all, the shoulders, specifically the lateral delts, the side delts. That's what's going to give you that broad shoulder look, the width that literally makes women feel safe. Like, I've been walking down the street with a woman and she's like, oh, I feel so safe around you. It's the shoulders, I'm telling you. Like, literally yesterday, actually, in the gym, a guy came up to me and he's like, yo, bro, how do I get my shoulders broad like yours? How do I get them big like yours? I just told him what I'm telling you now. Lateral raises. That's what I do. Lateral raises. Those are the priority. When I work my shoulders, I'm actually prioritizing shoulders at the moment. So that's the first exercise that I do, lateral raises. Obviously, you can prioritize your lats, you can prioritize your upper chest, whatever you think you need to do. But in terms of the shoulders, the lateral raises and the side delts, developing those are what's going to give you that nice broad frame. Next is going to be your lats. It's going to make your waist look smaller because you're developing that V shape from the waist, right? That's where your lats start, at the waist. Obviously you need a low body fat percentage as well, which I'll talk about, but you need to develop those lats to start giving you that V shape, and then combine with the side delts to complete it at the top, right? Swimmers' bodies, very attractive to women. Why is that? Because they have well-developed lats. Go search up any swimmer. They have good lats. They have a V taper. That's why it's so attractive. Your clothes are going to fit you better because you've got a nice shape, right? They're going to fit you nicer. It's going to look better on you. And you're going to walk around more confident with better posture because you're developing those back muscles, right? Very attractive. So lat pull downs, that's a staple. And seated row with a neutral grip, so where your elbow is staying close to the side of your body. Those are the things that I'm going to recommend for the lats. Now for the upper chest, then remember, we're focusing on the upper chest specifically. That's going to give you the most attractive look to your physique. When you wear a shirt, that's what's going to fill your shirt out. It's going to get you that shelf type of look, right? Forget your decline bench press. Forget your decline flies. You do not need to focus on your lower chest. I've never done any of those exercises. I look at my chest, it's fucking massive, right? Smith machine incline bench press. That's what I've been doing for 3 years, genuinely. Since I started lifting weights, only Smith machine incline bench press. Obviously, now and again, when the Smith machine isn't available and I can't be bothered to wait, I'll go do some other upper chest exercise. I'll go do some incline machine or something like that, right? But Smith machine incline bench press is what I've been using for years, and it's worked very well. I put the incline on like a 30 degrees, sometimes even 15, so generally quite low inclines, right? And that's it. Bear in mind, your whole chest is working when you're doing a Smith machine incline bench press. You're not isolating your upper chest, right? That's not the only thing that's working. Your lower and mid chest are still working. They're just not the priority. You're going to develop your upper chest at least equally, probably more than the mid and lower chest, which is very important. That's what we want. When you're wearing a vest like this, for example, a wife beater, right? You see your collarbone and you see your upper chest when you've developed it specifically, right? When you forget about the lower and mid chest. If you're doing your decline bench press, your decline flies, specifically targeting that lower chest like a lot of guys in the gym do, you don't develop that nice type of look, that shelf type of look. You develop like a saggy breast type of look, which is not what we want. That's not attractive, and that's not what I want you to get. When you develop that upper chest specifically, that makes your physique look more masculine, and that's what we want. That's more attractive, right? Now, the last muscle is going to be your core, your abs. I'll talk about the muscles first, and then the body fat percentage is after. Because obviously, to have abs, to see your abs, for anybody to look at your abs and be like, oh shit, he's lean, you need to be at a low body fat percentage. But what's very important as well is to develop those muscles. That's not only going to allow your abs to be more visible at a higher body fat percentage, but when you're at a low body fat percentage, those abs are like fucking rocks, right? They're very sharp cut, they've got nice ridges. That's what we want, because the abs are one of the first muscles that people see. When someone looks at your physique, if you don't have abs, it's automatically not impressive. That's just how it is. Now, when we're working the ab muscles, right, obviously you're just working in the same as the other muscles. So to failure, couple sets, rest and recover, no circuits, no fucking 60 mountain climbers, 1 minute planks. That doesn't work for building the abs. That's just endurance. And also, we're not working the side of the abs. We're not working the obliques. No farmer's walks, no side bends, no twisty machine, whatever that shit is, right? Because that makes your waist look wider. That detracts from your V taper, which is not that attractive anymore. When you've got a thick waist, I've seen a lot of guys, right? Often they're on like growth hormone and steroids as well, which just makes your waist look wider. But when you've got a thick waist, even if you've got well-developed muscles, even if you're lean, it automatically looks worse. That's just how it is. So you need to focus on having a low body fat percentage as well, which I'll talk about in a second, to get that waist smaller, but also to try and avoid developing the obliques too much as well, because that's going to make your waist look thick for no reason. So for working the abdominals, it's either hanging leg raises or sit-ups. And once you can do them for quite a few reps without weight, to 8 reps, 10 reps, something like that, that's when you can add weight to them and you just progressively overload like that. Couple sets till failure, just like every other muscles. It doesn't change because it's the abs, it's the exact same thing, right? Now, what's more important actually than working the abs to actually build the muscle, right, is being at a low body fat percentage. Because you can be at a low body fat percentage with not well developed ab muscles, but you're still gonna have abs. Everyone's gonna see them because you're lean, because you've not got that layer of fat stopping you from seeing them. And this is not only for your abs, that's just the most obvious comparison, but this is for your whole V taper. This actually reveals the physique, the muscle that you've built, if you've built any, right? This actually creates that physique that makes you look attractive. Even without a V taper, even without an attractive physique that you've built, right? If you're lean, you're still going to be more attractive than most people because you've got a nice shape, you've got a nicer face, you've got a nice jawline, you have veins, you have all this stuff that most people don't have. Now, the body fat percentage that you kind of need to be aiming towards is 8 to 12% body fat. This is a very good range, around 10%, right? That's a very good range to be in as a man. And yes, this is very lean. Yes, it takes some hard work, some dedication, self-control, discipline that a lot of people don't have to get there. And that's why most people don't have an attractive physique. Most people, like, how many men are walking around at 10% body fat? Almost none, genuinely. Which is why when you get there, it's insane. The difference is insane. You have women thirsting over you, falling over you, doing everything for you because you've built something. You've got the self-control, the discipline to get an attractive physique, to be lean, that most people just can't do. By far, the quickest way to become more attractive is to get lean. If you're 20% body fat right now and you get down to 10% over like the next 6 months or something, instantly you're going to have 10 times more women in your life. Instantly 50 times more women. I'm not even joking. It's literally simple as that. And if you combine that with building a V-taper, with building those muscles to actually get you that nice, attractive, masculine shape, I can't even explain the difference. Like, if you're unattractive right now, to put it simply, if you're 20% body fat, 25%, you're unattractive. Like, just simple as that, right? And there's nothing wrong with, well, there is something wrong with that, but that's not an issue because you can actually change that. It's an issue if you don't change it. If you stay there like most people do, that's the issue. If you actually rewire your mindset, get the self-control, the discipline, get the knowledge, put in that work to get an attractive physique, and you actually go through with it, you get lean, you get to 12% body fat, 10% body fat, and you build an attractive physique, and you do all those things, the difference, wow, the difference from where you're at right now in terms of your mindset, in terms of your confidence, your attractiveness with women, compared to where you will be when you actually achieve those things, is genuinely insane. It's life-changing, and that's what I want you to experience. So to get lean, you need to be in a calorie deficit. That's the number one thing, right? There's a lot of optimizations we can do in shit, but the number one thing is to be in a calorie deficit. To get your approximate maintenance, so the amount of calories that your body burns each day, go on to tdeecalculator.net. That's a total daily energy expenditure calculator, which will give you roughly the amount of calories that you burn during the day. You're going to give it some information. It's going to give you a number. That's the amount of calories approximately that you burn during the day. Now you need to eat less than that. You need to eat less than that amount to actually be in a deficit, so your body can take that energy that it needs from your stored body fat. That's what your body fat is for. It's for energy. When you don't have it available in the form of food, your body takes it from its own body fat stores. If you do that for a long enough period of time, you consistently stay in a calorie deficit, you get lean. It's genuinely simple as that. There's nothing else that you have to do. You don't have to take some fucking fat burners. You don't have to inject yourself with anything to get lean, right? You literally just stay in a calorie deficit and you get lean. You start to remove that body fat from your body, and your body you start to see veins, you start to see a nice defined jawline, you start to see those abs getting revealed. It's absolutely amazing. Now, to make it easy for you, I would also recommend to eat whole foods. Stay away from ultra processed foods, because that's going to make you hungrier, going to get your hunger hormones out of whack, and you're just going to want to overeat when you're eating fucking Oreos and donuts and ice cream and pizza and chips and all these things that are not healthy for you, give you fucking acne. Stay away from that shit. Eat whole foods, beef, eggs, fruit, rice, potatoes. Prepare it yourself. And that's going to make it a lot easier to feel better. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to have better results, basically. You're going to have better results. And then you also need to be tracking your calories so that you can actually know for sure that you're eating the amount of calories that you think you're eating. Because you can overeat, even with eating healthy foods. It's a lot more difficult, but you can still eat in a surplus or at maintenance while still eating whole foods, unprocessed foods, right? So track your calories, get a scale, get MyFitnessPal, track your calories to make sure you're eating in a deficit every single day. You do that consistently over a long period of time, and it's just going to happen for you. You're going to start to see those abs. You're going to start to see that nice jawline. You're going to start to see those veins. And one of the most important aspects, actually, forget the practical things that you have to do, tracking your calories and eating good foods. One of the most important aspects is rewiring your mindset. You need to want that result more than anything else. When you get that discomfort, when you're a little bit hungry, right, you need to want that result more than that. When you start to get those cravings, I want to go back to eating Oreos, I want to eat this fucking ice cream, you need to rewire your mindset so that the goal that you're going to achieve is more important than all of that. Your desire for having an attractive physique, for being more attractive, for feeling better, more confident, has to be stronger than any sort of cravings or temporary comfortability that you want to experience, temporary comfort that you want to experience at the moment. Once you've solidified your mindset, once you've built that identity consistently by trying the things, by doing the habits, by getting into the routines that someone with that identity has, if you've got the identity of an athlete, of someone who takes care of themselves, of someone who's lean, then you consistently do those routines, those habits, eating a calorie deficit, eating good food, going to the gym consistently. Once you've built that identity, it's easy to do the things that you need to do to get the results that you want. It's actually easy, because if you've got the identity of someone who's an athlete, who takes care of themselves, who cares about what they're putting in the body, then when you want to go, when you get the idea to go and eat a burger and chips, when you get the idea to go eat KFC and McDonald's, your identity tells you, wait, I don't do that shit. That doesn't align with my goals. I don't do that shit because I won't get the results that I want, and I want the results that I want more than I want to eat that fucking burger and chips. So once you've got that mindset, it's honestly easy to stick with the habits and routines to get you where you want to go. That type of mindset also helps with other aspects in your life. For example, specifically with dating, right, with using your attractive physique with women, right? When you have that type of mindset where you don't accept less than what your identity gives you, if you've got the identity of an attractive man, when you've put in that work as well, when you've got that confidence because you actually are attractive, you've got an attractive physique, when you come across women who are not that high interest, when you come across women that are low interest, it doesn't even occur to you that you should pursue them. A lot of guys pursue women who are low interest because they don't have options. When you're an attractive guy, you've got that strong mindset, you have a lot of options, high interest. You don't deal with the women that don't treat you how you want to be treated. For example, I can stop recording now. I can tell a woman, yo, come here, like here where I'm at right now, where I'm recording, and she'll come straight away. I've got multiple who do that immediately, and that's because I only deal with women who are high interest. When I have that option available to me, right, I will not ever go out of my way, like a lot of guys do, to pursue a woman who doesn't really want me, who might be using me for attention or something like that. Never, because I've built the things that I need to do. I've built the attractive physique. I've done the habits to make myself higher value, to have women that are high interest, and I don't accept less than that because I'm worth more than that. I've built my identity to not accept less than that. When you have this type of physique, you're allowed to have high standards like that. You're in the top percentages of men now. You've put yourself there through hard work, determination, dedication, self-control, discipline, all these things, right? You've put yourself there. And you reap the rewards. You get the results of that. You get to pick which women you want to be with. You get to pick the type of women you want to be with. You get to pick the ones that actually show a lot of interest in you. You don't have to go for the scraps. You don't have to go for the women that every other guy can get, that every other guy can go for. You don't have to battle with the average guys realistically to get the women that are slightly below their level or on their level. You get to have better women, and you get to have more women that are attracted to you. And just being kind of fit in general will get you better results as well, of course. Like, even if you run or something, you're kind of lean, that'll get you better results than the average guy who's overweight. Or if you just kind of go to the gym, not really seriously focused on getting an attractive physique, but you're in slightly better shape than most people, okay, you're going to get better results, but you're not going to get the maximum results. When you focus specifically to get a very good looking physique, be very lean, have well-developed muscle mass, V-tape, a nice shoulder to waist ratio, when you get these things specifically and you look the best, you look the best that you possibly can, that's when you get the crazy results, the results that most guys can't dream of. With women, with their mentality, with their confidence, with their physique, right? That's when your results really speak for themselves. Women see you and be like, oh shit, who is that? I need him immediately. That's the type of results that you get. Even when you're just looking for one woman, like if you don't need loads of women in your life or whatever, you just want one to settle down with, one good woman, loyal, you need an attractive physique for that. Like, you need to put yourself in a higher tier, in a higher category of men to get a woman like that. Like, this is crazy, right? I see a lot of guys, for example, online. I don't really scroll online too much on that, but occasionally you'll see these things where guys who are literally like 30% body fat, fucking disgusting, they want a woman who specifically fits these requirements. They want a woman who looks good, who's loyal, who cooks and cleans and this shit, bro. If you're 30% body fat, if you don't go to the gym, if you're a weak man mentally, you don't deserve that. You deserve the bottom of the barrel women. You don't deserve any woman, to be honest with you. So you need to be improving yourself. You need to become a higher value man to actually get the women that you want, to actually get women who are loyal, who look good, who take care of themselves as well, who don't fucking drink and smoke and party. You need to develop yourself as a man to actually attract those type of women. First of all, you'll never get them if you don't improve yourself, first of all, right? But to deserve them as well, to actually, like, I can't imagine the amount of arrogance that a guy needs to have, the amount of ego, the amount of ignorance, probably the amount of ignorance that you need to have to think that you deserve a woman who fits your specific list of requirements when you're literally a joke man, like you're literally a pussy. Do you know what I mean? So to get those types of women, to get lots of women and to get the higher quality women, you need to be developing yourself. You need to build an attractive physique. You need to develop the mental resilience that comes with that to actually get those types of women that you want. The pride that women feel when they're with a man who invests in themselves, right? Who has a good physique, who looks capable, who looks like he's serious, he's about his business because he takes care of himself, right? That's something that you would want your woman to feel, right? If we're talking about one woman, a wife, a girlfriend, right? You would want your woman to be proud of who she's with and not have to fucking basically be disappointed, be ashamed in you and what you've done to yourself, right? By fucking overeating and everything. You want your woman and then your kids eventually, right, to feel that pride, to be like, yeah, that's my dad, that's my husband. You need to be that type of man where people can be proud of even knowing you, of being friends with you, of being around you, because you've put in that work into yourself. Of course, if we're talking about long-term relationships, make sure you keep doing those things that made you attractive to her in the first place. Make sure you keep going to the gym, keep consistent with your diet. Like once you start to skip too many sessions, you start to have Oreos in your cupboard, you go to brunch a bit too often, you have some fucking pizza every week and something, you start to lose those abs, you don't look like a fucking, like you don't look like the man anymore, right? That's when your girl is gonna start fantasizing about guys with six packs again, because you don't have it anymore. It's easy to get complacent when you think you're safe, right? And that's the mistake that a lot of guys tend to make, especially in marriages and shit. So make sure you don't do that. Make sure you keep doing the things that made you attractive to her in the first place. It's a lot easier when you're not in a relationship, you're just playing around like I am, for example, because if you're not attractive, you don't get results. It's simple as that. Like most guys, they don't get results. They don't have women that are attracted to them. A woman gives them eye contact every once in a while. That's the highlight of their day. That's the very low level to be at. When you have got an attractive physique and you're looking good and you've got loads of women in your life and you're attractive to a lot of women, it's very easy to see, much easier to see the difference that it makes compared to a long-term relationship. Like a lot of guys feel that safety net when they've got a girlfriend, when they've got a girl who likes their personality, right? Now, I'm going to be honest, if you had a six-pack before and you don't have a six-pack anymore, your jokes are not going to hit the same. Your personality is not going to be as good. That's just how it works, right, with women. So keep doing the things. Don't lack on the things that actually got you that girlfriend in the first place. Don't lack on the things that make you more attractive to women. So get into that calorie deficit, build those attractive muscles. You're going to see the difference. When you have an attractive physique, life is on easy mode. There's nothing I can think of that isn't more enjoyable when you look amazing. So take into account what I've said in the video and you're going to see those results. You're going to have those experiences that I've had. It's just simple as that, really. If you do want more help to build an attractive physique, to experience those things, then check the top link in the description. That's my community where I've got everything you need to build an attractive physique. Ask me questions, people to hold you accountable, all those things. You're going to see the things that I'm talking about. It's absolutely insane. Check that out if you want to experience that for yourself.